I am Johnny Massacre and welcome to my world. May your stay here be interesting. Give me a hell yeah! Tonight's news, Elon Musk posted on X that he's cancelling his Netflix subscription and he recommends that you do it too because it is super woke, which has sparked a boycott and has seen Netflix's shares tumble. In fact, they've lost about $20 billion worth in value since Elon Musk called them out on his X platform. You can see here the numbers, cuzzy. Netflix taking a dive. Look at that geezer. Big trouble for Netflix. So we're going to take a look at the worst examples of wokeness on Netflix to show you why Elon Musk is calling it out. Elon Musk particularly doesn't like blue and pink bridge troll propaganda because his son turned into a blue and pink bridge troll, and he's actually come out on X and said he basically doesn't have a son anymore because he's lost to the woke mind virus. But it all started with this. So Elon Musk said this is not okay in reference to a series on Netflix called Dead End Paranormal Park, and apparently it pushes blue and pink bridge troll ideology on children, and it's advertised for 7-year-olds. I haven't seen this yet, so I'm going to react to it. Let's watch this together and let's see if Elon Musk is warranted in calling for the cancellation of Netflix.
It's not the park. It's me. I'm trans, Norma. And everyone at school knows, and everyone at home knows. And being here, it's like a whole new place. I can just be Barney, and I can choose if and when I tell people. I've never been happier. And that's saying something when I spent today chased by terrifying zombie mascots. Pugsley reminded...
Dude, like 0.1% of the population is making a show for all of the population. But it's all about them. Why do this? Why do this? You can see why this is absolutely insane. There's so much victimhood here. Why can't you celebrate it? Why can't you celebrate your difference? Always victimhood. Anyways, let's keep going.
How important it is to live your life without apology. So I think I gotta give living here a shot. Don't you?
You don't need my permission. I just wouldn't want Courtney as a roommate.
Okay, so this is for 7-year-olds. What would you do if your 7-year-old came to you and said, Mommy, Daddy, what does it mean to be Anne's gender tray? Those are the questions they might be asking you if you have a Netflix subscription and you don't supervise their behavior and what they're watching. So Elon Musk said that is not okay. And it sparked a wave of cancellation. So you can see here, Matt Van Swole, who has a very big X account, said, just cancel my Netflix subscription. If you employ someone who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk and makes content that pushes pro blue and pink bridge troll content on my kids, you will never get a dime of my money. It's as simple as that. So apparently the person who made that Netflix cartoon that's celebrating Anne's genderism tray also, of course they did, celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk online. And Elon Musk said same, that he cancelled his Netflix subscription. So you all know Netflix is mad woke. You've already seen the memes where they just race swap the most ridiculous example to parody Netflix. So I don't know. That, for example, they'll pretend to have a documentary on George Floyd and make him white or something like that. So you already know Netflix is mad woke. They're so famous for race swapping that when people meme race swapping, they always use the Netflix brand. But now, what with Elon Musk calling for the cancellation of Netflix and it losing $20 billion worth of market value, people are going a little bit deeper into the current shows that are available. So let's watch some of these and let's see why people are cancelling their Netflix subscriptions. So Liz of TikTok says, holy it Shay, on Netflix, the Babysitters Club pushes blue and pink bridge trollerism on kids, shames characters for misgendering and demands hospital staff refer to and treat a boy as a girl. Okay, let's have a look at this.
It took a while, but we finally found a file for a Bailey Del Vecchio. Is 32 Burn Hill Road still the current address? Yeah. Have you been giving him fluids? If he's dehydrated, we'll need to place an IV. Have him change into this. Well...
I hear Solo's not feeling well. Let's take a look at the little man.
Bro.
Can I please talk to you two outside? I know that you guys are busy, but as you would see, if you looked at her and not her chart, Bailey is not a boy. And by treating her like one, you are completely ignoring who she is. You're making her feel insignificant and humiliated. And that's not gonna help her feel good or safe or calm. So,
Bro, once again, why are you always playing the victim? Because this is a Marxist movement, and the core of Marxism is taking over your shit using victimhood as a pretext. So the currency of Marxist is victimhood. All about being a victim. Why are you misgendering him? It's going to make him sad and he's crying in a bed. This is pure propaganda. And again, this is like less than 1% of the population making the show all about them, proving that this is just complete narcissism and it's about power. It's not about giving people what they want or pleasing shareholders. Nobody wants to see this trash. And if you're going to do it, at least make it uplifting or make it positive. The fact that it's mired in victimhood, we all know this game that they play. And so when you get involved in the conversation, they're going to call you an ansphobe, Trey, or any of these kinds of things. It's a kind of linguistic trap that they play. So that's a show, Babysitters Club, another reason why people are cancelling Netflix. Then we have Monster High, the movie, and they're pushing the non-binary Bay cult on kids. This is another kids program. Check this out. Let's react to this.
Wow, this is for me. I know, right? The school totally customizes our rooms for us. It's so cozy. I'm Frankie. Pronouns they, them.
Oh my freaking god, it's a cult.
Claudine, she, her. Nice to meet you.
It's a fucking cult. I've got this special thing that you have to address me with. If you don't, I'm going to bully you and destroy you. If you do, I know that you're part of the same cult and I won't attack you, and I'll continue to push this in front of other people until I find non-cult members to cancel. This is insane. This is crazy. Why would you subscribe to this?
My full name is Frankie Stein. I was just created by my parents, but not in the way that others are created by their parents, like werewolves. I was actually made in a lab using some of the...
Okay, all right. Fine. If you're created in a lab, why do you need pronouns? Like, you know, you're created the gender you want anyways. Why do you have to make it more confusing? The whole thing is very confusing. It makes no sense. Okay, so other examples of woke programs on Netflix. We've got the children's cartoon called Jurassic World. Lots of kids obviously watch this. Camp Cretaceous. We got lesbian kissing there. Imagine you got a little girl sees that. Maybe she's 7 years old, 6 years old, and she's obviously too young to be thinking about boys and romance and stuff. But maybe there's a few boys in the class that she's kind of finds nice or something, and then she sees this. It could actually alter the course of her whole life, and not in a good way. It means basically she's never going to have kids if she subscribes to this. Just completely crazy. So that's from Jurassic World. And now we've got another woke scene from a recent Netflix show called Strawberry Shortcake and the Beast of Berry Bog. What could possibly go wrong here? Let's check it out.
It's time for Frightful 101. Welcome to your crash course in holiday self-expression.
So this is,
You look amazing!
this is a dude. This is a guy who's dressing up as a girl. So
What
they're pushing this to kids.
does this have to do with Frightful?
Like how messed up would you have to be to put this in a kids program?
Hello! Frightful, costumes, dressing up, and your look doesn't need to be scary. See?
So part of the reason this probably exists is because the Biden administration would hand out grants to fund this stuff. No grant was given out under the Biden administration unless a DEI department was set up in the recipient's company. So obviously people like this took the money. You have a DEI department, and then for them to have a job and carry out the agenda, then they have to instill woke, hard leftist, progressive stuff into the company. And then you see the results of that here. They're going to hire a protected group and they're going to put this into the storyline. So they've obviously sold their soul for the cash. But this is the stuff that caused Elon Musk to encourage people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions. What do you think about that? Do you think it's an overreaction to cancel your Netflix subscription? Or do you think it's actually kind of messed up to pump that into kids' brains. I'd like to hear your opinions in the comments. You know I would. You know that I would. So, just how woke exactly is Netflix? Well, apparently, 100% woke. If you look at the election contributions of Netflix, it turns out that 100% of significant financial contributions, donations to a political party went to Democrats. Not 1% went to Republicans. So that is why Netflix is so unbelievably woke. All of its stuff at the upper echelons are Democrats. And with that comes weird, postmodernist, ideological trash in your entertainment. Leftists believe you can't be left alone to enjoy anything. You constantly have to be mothered by the nanny state and reminded of the mission to help the poor minorities, the disaffected, and to vote for them to ensure that you protect the Marxist victimhood class. So that is why, is it surprising that Netflix is super woke? This shows you the power of Elon Musk. He just brings your attention to one issue, and if the issue is relevant, he can actually change the world. He can make a financial dent in Netflix. And do you blame him? The leftists were firebombing Tesla stations and attacking people in Tesla cars and stuff. He's had enough of it, and so he's punching back a little bit and doing his bit to fight back against wokeness, which continues to pervade all throughout society. Don't tell me it doesn't. So thank you, Elon Musk, for that. I've never had a Netflix subscription. I have never watched Netflix once. I don't understand the appeal of this service. If you want to watch a movie, everyone has an Amazon account anyways. You can watch something on Amazon Prime. It's really easy. I don't need to subscribe to Netflix. The only reason you subscribe to it is for TV programs, and I'm sorry, but TV is just mind rot. Why don't you just read a fucking book instead? Why don't you read something like The Analects by Confucius? Trust me, you're going to get way more from that than watching the latest slop on Netflix. And I'm just surprised it's taken this long for people to actually start calling out Netflix. As I said, it's become a meme for racial intersectional politics. And yet people continue to subscribe to it. I'm not down with it. I mean, better late than never, everybody. The only thing I watched on Netflix was Peaky Blinders. I made an effort because I just wanted to watch something with my dad when I went to England. And that was rubbish as well. It really was. It looked quite good, but wasn't really feeling it. So I'm just surprised it's taken this long. And that's blowing up online. And it's serious, man. So some of those videos that I just showed you, they have 38 million views. 38 million. The Libs of TikTok account there, bringing our attention to those woke blue and pink bridge troll featuring series, getting 40 million views. So Elon Musk is really making a difference there. We'll have to wait and see if this actually makes a serious dent in the Netflix shares, because if we look at Netflix share value over time, you certainly can see where they lost $20 billion. And it was as soon as this news dropped. That's a very, very big dip. But if you look at their performance over the last 6 months, they're kind of just doing, on average, around $1,200 per share. And nothing has really changed that much. So we'll have to see how far this campaign goes. I will not hold my breath, because the only time I ever saw some meaningful change happening was when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. 3 weeks ago today, by the way. And that only lasted for about 4 or 5 days. And then everyone accepted the left just being psychopathic and just went back to doing whatever they normally do and letting the left just continue to do their crazy stuff. So I think unless it's something of the magnitude of Charlie Kirk, people are just going to forget about this and keep subscribing and go, okay, and shrug their shoulders. I haven't subscribed to Netflix. I don't patronize Disneyland or Disney or any of that kind of stuff. I don't buy woke video games. I'm doing my bit. I hope you do it too, because unless you start voting with your wallet, you're going to continue to get ridiculous stuff like this. I'm Johnny Massacre, and if you're just joining us, we're discussing people cancelling their Netflix subscriptions because Elon Musk said Netflix is mad woke. What's new? But if you have been watching from the beginning, then stop your grinning and drop your linen, donate some cash, and let's keep winning. Streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. The more you donate, the more of me you're going to get. Please consider donating now. We've reset the bar. I'm going to be shouting out the patrons in a couple of days when the donations drop. Appreciate the patrons as always. Without you, I cannot make this show. You know, I got love for you. I got love for you. So speaking of Elon Musk, interesting news tonight. Other news. Elon Musk is going to create a rival to Wikipedia. Can you Adam and Eve it, bruv? Yes, it is true. And I'm here for this. So apparently XAI, Elon Musk's AI company, is building Grokipedia, an open source knowledge repository where truth is the mission. This will be available to the public with no limits on use. Its knowledge base is purely built on truth and facts. This is very exciting news. Elon Musk said, essential on X, responding to a post by XFreeze, talking about Grokipedia, that said the world's open source knowledge repository. So Elon Musk has realized how many people get their information from Wikipedia, and he also knows how much ChatGPT and AI services crawl through websites like Wikipedia to answer people's questions. So without a non-biased alternative to Wikipedia, the world is in trouble. Larry Sanger on X says, did you know that 85% of the most influential accounts on Wikipedia, the Power 62, are anonymous? We simply don't know who they are. Elon Musk said curiouser and curiouser on X. So if you want to see how crazy the bias is on Wikipedia, check this out. So the co-founder of Wikipedia, Larry Sanger, was on Tucker Carlson, and he walked Tucker through the blacklist of Wikipedia, which is essentially sources they refuse to quote. Too long didn't read. Wikipedia does not use any sources that are right of, I'm going to turn your daughter into a blue and pink bridge troll if she so much as blinks at me. It's all left-wing sources. Check this out.
Can I go on the Wikipedia site and find out what's blacklisted?
Sure. Just type in perennial sources Wikipedia into any search engine, and the first result will be this page.
And it names them, the blacklist.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's all color-coded. Green.
Do you have the list? Do you mind if I do that really quick?
Go right ahead.
Check out all the people banned from wiki sources.
So it's perennial. Source.
Yeah.
List. Wikipedia, right?
While you're doing that, I'll give you some fully approved sources. New York Times, Washington Post, CNN, The Nation, Mother Jones, GLAAD.
Come on!
They're all green lit, fully
Government-funded propaganda, left-wing mouthpieces. The wokest, trashiest excuses for news outlets in the universe are the Wikipedia sources.
green lit. Okay.
Green lit.
The blacklisted sources are Breitbart, Daily Caller, Epoch Times, Fox News, New York Post, The Federalist.
None of those websites will ever be used as a source in Wikipedia. That's every single piece of news that isn't left-wing isn't a source. So that's why Elon Musk is making Grokipedia. If you want an insight into what Grokipedia is going to be like, Elon Musk is praising the suggestions of Wikipedia co-founder Larry Sanger, who himself is nailing these 9 theses to the door of Wikipedia in my opinion, a destined to fail attempt to get Wikipedia to neutralize. The 9 theses on Wikipedia that Elon Musk likes and is clearly going to incorporate in some way, shape or form into Grok are: end decision-making by consensus, enable competing articles, abolish source blacklists, revive the original neutrality policy, repeal, ignore all rules, reveal who Wikipedia's leaders are, let the public rate articles, end permanent blocking, and adopt a legislative process. Basically, a democratic Wikipedia. That's what Grokipedia is going to be. And that's really exciting. So Elon Musk just, you know that meme where the guy's digging a hole and all the other workmen are standing around watching? That's basically Elon Musk. He's saved free speech by buying X. He got Trump elected by helping us to win Pennsylvania, and he's getting us into space, and he is now cutting contracts with the US government to incorporate XAI into the government infrastructure. Can you imagine if Biden was in power now? It would not be using XAI, it would be using some woke form of AI. So whoever is winning with AI in the beginning is going to dictate the political bent of AI, perhaps for the rest of time. And if it's a libertarian like Elon Musk, it's so super great. So he's just carrying us right now. Now he's going to build his own Wikipedia. What's next? Well, Elon Musk made his fortune originally by futurizing, if you will, the banking system. And he ended up helping to create PayPal. What with Elon Musk's pedigree in the banking industry, and going by what Elon Musk has said about evolving payment processes, I think one of the next things he's obviously going to do is create a payment service with X. This would mean people can't really be cancelled when governments inevitably, UK, I'm looking at you, start pushing central banking digital currencies linked to digital ID. So Elon Musk just carrying us, doing the lion's share of saving the fucking libertarian West. And I'm also waiting for him to release a smartphone, because you know Apple can block any applications they don't like. Wikipedia, what do you think about that? So we're not done yet with the Elon Musk news, because guess what? Congratulations, Musky Wusky. Elon Musk has become the first person in history to reach a net worth of $500 billion. This is actually true. If Tesla's value rose to Nvidia's $3.3 trillion level, Musk's stake, 13%, would be worth $430 billion. Add SpaceX, now worth $200 to $300 billion plus to him if it doubles. Neuralink and XAI growth, he could realistically cross the $1 trillion mark. So, do you remember when Tim Waltz came out and was laughing about Elon Musk's share value tanking because Soros and activists funded NGO money that trickled down to violent people, resulted in Tesla owners being targeted physically and Tesla dealerships being firebombed and stuff? Oh man. You don't want to mock Elon Musk, because he's smarter than you, and he's smarter than anyone else on the face of planet Earth, and the same goes for his productivity. So I feel that the adversity that he comes up against pisses him off, obviously, and just makes him even more successful. So Elon Musk turning the tables on those Oakway other mate cafes and becoming the first man to reach an estimated net worth of $500 billion. Tesla doing very well. When those Optimus robots come out, bruv, it's going to be cream crackers. You can see why the value is skyrocketing. Tesla hasn't been selling as well as it had in the past, but what with XAI being integrated into Tesla, and what with Optimus coming, I'm predicting he's without a doubt is going to become the world's first trillionaire. Can you imagine having an Optimus robot in your pad? If it was there right now, I'd sit her ass down next to me there, and I say, darling, can you fact check that? Everyone's got their own Jamie from Joe Rogan, but 100 times better. Baby, look that up. We can do that in a second. She can go out, get me some food in it for the kind of stuff that you like. She can go out there. We'll have her own camera doing the live stream on a separate box. And then you can have a poll. She can make a poll. Tell her, make a poll for the viewers here about what we're going to eat, what you're going to cook me for dinner, darling. Come back, cook it up. You'll be happy. I'll be happy. Then she can teach me how to play the piano later. She can do all kinds of things. We can shadow box. I'm not sure it will allow you to do that. There's so much coming from Elon Musk, Tesla, and XAI. You can see why he's worth $500 billion now, and why he's definitely going to be worth $1 trillion, cuzzy. So Elon Musk absolutely killing it tonight. So the other news, there is a government shutdown. What does that mean? Well, when the US government cannot agree on a funding bill, the government shuts down until they can agree. So the story in the media is, on the Republican side, that Democrats are shutting down the federal government because Trump won't force taxpayers to pay for free healthcare for illegal aliens. Then Democrats are saying illegal aliens can't get healthcare anyways. But you know how the sleight of hand works? Well, those 500,000 Haitians, to name but a few of the tens of millions of illegal migrants that came into America under the leadership or lack thereof of Joe Biden, were granted special temporary status, bruv. And that means with the wave of a magic wand, they're suddenly not illegal because they're going to vote for Democrats in the future and they can access healthcare. Millions of them are doing that. That's who Democrats want to give money to. In Trump's big, beautiful bill, he removed funding for those kind of Haitians and those asylum seekers that are just scroungers and have been here for 5 minutes because Biden let the border open because he wants to create a permanent one-party state. But now the Democrats are shutting down the government because they want to use your tax money to make socialism in the United States of America. That's what is happening. That's what's happening. Fact. So what do you think about that? The Dems just on their own right now, on a hill, screaming that they're retarded and mentally ill, and they want to take your money and give it to potentially violent, murderous criminals. Who do you think is going to vote for that? Trump 2028. Bitches. Yeah, it's really true. It's really true. Let me give you some information. Rapid Response 47 on X said, yes, 200 billion unhinged Democrats shut down the government for illegals and non-citizens. So he highlights a graphic that says the Democrat continuing resolution spends nearly 200 billion on healthcare subsidies for illegal immigrants and non-citizens. This is the summary of provisions repealed by Democrats. Ending Medicaid funding for most non-citizens. Ending enhanced FMAP for emergency care to illegal immigrants, closing the California loophole, ending Medicare funding for most non-citizens. This is what Democrats want to repeal. So they literally want to keep funding illegal immigrants. It is a fact. JD Vance explains it.
This is a Democrat talking point. They say we're not actually trying to give health care benefits to illegal aliens, and here's why it's not true. There are 2 Biden-era programs that explicitly gave the taxpayer health care money to illegal aliens that we turned off when President Trump took over in January. Program number 1 is there's a lot of emergency health care at hospitals that are provided to illegal aliens. That was funded by the federal government. We turned off that funding because, of course, we want American citizens to benefit from those hospital services, not to be taxed and then to have those hospital services go to illegal aliens. The second of which is the Biden administration gave mass parole to millions upon millions of illegal aliens.
That's what I said.
And then they simultaneously made those parolees eligible for health care benefits funded by taxpayers.
So they're illegal, and the Biden administration goes, they're not illegal, and then they can get fucking money as much as they want for any fucking operation, including having a baby on American soil and therefore getting an American passport. Fucking crazy. Crazy cuckoo crackerjackville. Thank you, Mr. Vance, for that. So the left are saying, no, there's no healthcare for illegals, but actually there is on multiple levels. So here's a headline from CNN from 2019 that says, Democrats want to offer healthcare to undocumented immigrants. Here's what that means. And then 6 years later, fact check, Donald Trump falsely claims Democrats want to give free healthcare to illegal aliens in government shutdown battle. That's like someone coming into your house and murdering your Amelie Faye Ember Mays, and then the judge says, oh, like, he's not a murderer anymore. And then he just walks away free. Illegal people commit a crime going into America, and then the Biden administration says they're not illegal anymore, and then they can get money. This is absolutely insane. This is crazy stuff. If you had any doubt about whether Democrats want to fund illegal migrants and what this shutdown is all about, let me draw your attention to the first Democratic presidential primary debate in 2019 in Miami in June. Check this out. Cuzzy.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Every single Democrat on the panel raised their hand and said they provide healthcare to undocumented migrants. And in California, they certainly can do it, which is why you saw that repeal in Trump's big, beautiful bill. Absolutely crazy. Democrats declared sanctuary cities and states to attract illegals. It wasn't Trump who did that. Democrats gave illegals free hotel rooms with your tax dollars. Wasn't Trump who did that. Democrats gave illegals free healthcare. Democrats gave illegals SNAP benefits to keep them in America. And Democrats did this in order to bring in voters to create a permanent one-party state. That is what is going on. Cuzzy wuzzy. Here is what happens if you give free healthcare to illegal migrants. Mays on X says in 2022, Gavin Newsom, governor of California, announces California would be offering free healthcare for undocumented immigrants. He claims it's the moral thing to do and that it will cost about $2.2 billion a year. 3 years later, in 2025, guess what happened? With California facing a $12 billion deficit. I wonder why, giving money away to illegals and incentivizing more to come. Newsom freezes the program for new entries and says that those currently enrolled will have to pay a monthly premium. The cost of the program had ballooned to over $11 billion a year. A year. Unbelievable.
A campaign on universal health care. We're delivering that. We are implementing our ideals. We are manifesting this principle, this fundamental notion that so many of us have been preaching for years and years and years. Universal health care for all, regardless of pre-existing condition, regardless of the ability to pay, and regardless of your immigration status. If you...
Bruh, there you go. There you go. California, at least, definitely giving your tax money to illegals.
Care, not just about values and principles of morality.
This other mate Akafay can afford it, but the average working person can't.
If your only values and principles are advanced through economics, then that alone should be an argument in favor of universal.
Shut the hell up, Gavin. Shut up. And then 3 years later,
coverage.
Now, Newsom says California is facing a $12 billion deficit. Governor is proposing freezing enrollment in state-funded health care for undocumented immigrants.
You know, when the program started, it was supposed to cost about $3 billion a year, and that ballooned to $11 billion.
Can you Adam and Eve it, Cuzzy? Can you Adam and Eve it? Can you Adam and Eve it? Well, that's what's going on. So you're seeing lots and lots of news about that now, and it's all so very tiresome. How about not giving money to illegal? How about not giving any money to immigrants for, I don't know, like the first 10 years when they're in the country? How about that? They used to be like that in the UK back in the day, and immigrants, when they came in, they just accepted it. They thought, well, yeah, of course I'm not going to take any money out of the system. These people have been here for decades. I've just turned up. It doesn't make any sense. How about that? That's what the people want. So it's been 3 weeks since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and still I'm in shock. Still I'm in shock. Just one of the worst days ever, and it sent shockwaves around the world. Anyone who loves liberty and freedom was in pain after that, and the fallout was just horrific. His wife, God bless her, making one of the best speeches I've ever heard at his memorial. And in my opinion, it was the culmination of leftists demonizing anyone who doesn't want a radical, crazy, society-destroying agenda rammed down upon them, and justifying violence against those people. Unfortunately, Democrats and leftists are still calling people they disagree with fascists now more than ever. They can smell blood. They can feel that it's almost becoming normalized, what with such a huge celebration from vast swaths, the majority, I believe, of the left, in lieu of Kirk's death. So it's been 3 weeks. It feels like longer. And in a weird sort of way, Charlie Kirk is bigger now than he was before. What do I mean by that? Well, the Kirkster, the legend, he had 1.7 million followers on Instagram before his assassination. 1.7. How many does he have now? More than 10 times that. Now he has 13.8 million. So his reach is only getting larger, and his legacy is only getting stronger. So we're now seeing other people come out and start to do speeches on university campuses again, even though their lives are clearly in danger by nihilistic, psychopathic leftists. Steven Crowder, the man like Steven, he put on a bulletproof vest and hired an army of security to put back on Change My Mind. Remember that? Following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So, it's happening, y'all.
And everyone told me that this, in today's climate, could not be done unless I took unbelievable precautions, unless it was absolutely kept a secret until mere hours before the event as a pop-up, unless I literally brought an army with me and bulletproofed the entire radius.
So if you want to speak to leftists today, you have to have a full-on army and spend tens of thousands of dollars to have private security and wear bulletproof vests. Why would you vote for the left in any capacity? It's the party of violence. It is. That's what it is right now. So Steven Crowder is out doing this again. So what a brave man. You can see on his Rumble, Bumble, Stumble, Piping Hot, Apple Crumble on his Rumble, those videos that he made. So he said, I'm back. So this was huge. This became a massive meme. Steven Crowder with his cup of coffee and a sign saying something, changed my mind. He's doing it again. So he started off his campus debates again in the wake of Charlie Kirk, obviously inspired by Charlie Kirk. I'm telling you, the left made a mistake by doing that. The movement that they've created in Charlie Kirk's wake is going to be bigger than if Charlie Kirk had even remained alive. That's what happened by martyring him. Steven Crowder's first video now, since he returned, is The Left is Violent, Changed My Mind. Already has 1 million views on Rumble. Parts 1 and 2. So I haven't checked that out, but I'm going to check that out when I can muster the strength to listen to these radical, ideologically subverted, mentally ill leftist harpy shit libs. But I will be sure to return here to bring you the news on that when I find it. So there you go, everybody. Everyone's cancelling their Netflix subscription, and I recommend that you do too, because it is riddled with hard leftist woke propaganda. No surprise, considering 100% of donations from Netflix went to the Democratic Party in recent years. Elon Musk has become the first man to have a net worth of 500 billion. And Elon Musk is starting a rival to Wikipedia called Grokipedia. And finally, it's the 3rd week anniversary of Charlie Kirk's passing. And in the wake of that, we have people like Steven Crowder going out and resuming university campus debates. So I'm going to let you drop some comments right now, because you really are the star of the show, bruv.
Luca Chronic says, rock hard, let's go.
Let's go.
Luca Chronic says, victimhood culture. Ezina says, goodbye Netflix. Hello torrents. Nuka Chronic says, Elon saved free speech. Ezina says, BTW, awesome game behind you, my bro. Karmic Zone rules. Brad W says Gangster Dave.
What's up? We got a new subscriber, Gangster Dave. He says, I won't say stupid shit if others won't say stupid woke shit. You are in the right place, my man. Wasted Youth, great name for a band. Indeed. Here we go, Cuzzy. Glad to have you here. I'm not sure how you found this channel. You must have done something very naughty to stumble across the shadow realm, but this is the beginning of a great adventure. That is your call to action, mate. Is to cancel your Netflix subscription. We